12 weeks ago, I started walking like an idiot on purpose. 3 minutes fast, 3 minutes slow. Repeat. For 30 minutes a day because the internet swore this Japanese walking thing would melt my belly fat. Spoiler, it didn't melt anything. But something else happened that I genuinely didn't expect, and I'm not burying it at the end of the video. Stick around, because the actual result surprised me more than the number on the scale did. Quick context on why I even tried this. I've done 75 hard, I've done the 12-3-30 treadmill thing, I've done just eat less for about 4 days before quitting. What I hadn't tried was anything this boring sounding. No equipment, no gym, no burpees, just walking, but on a stopwatch. When I saw people everywhere claiming it torched their belly fat in 3 months, I figured worst case I got really good at walking. Best case, my jeans fit again. For anyone who hasn't seen this trend, here's the real method, not the caption version. It's called interval walking training, and it's not some ancient secret. It's a research-backed protocol out of Shinshu University in Japan, developed by a professor named Hiroshi Knows. The original study came out back in 2007, so this thing had almost 2 decades of research behind it before it ever hit anyone's For You page. The protocol is almost stupidly simple. Walk fast for 3 minutes. Fast enough that holding a conversation gets annoying, then walk slow for 3 minutes to recover. Repeat that 5 times, you land at 30 minutes total, and you do it at least 4 days a week. No incline, no sprinting, no fancy gear. Here's the part that actually convinced me to commit. The researchers didn't design this to torch belly fat specifically. They designed it because when they told people to just walk steadily for 30 minutes a day, almost nobody stuck with it long term. It was boring, and people quit. The moment they added the speed up, slow down rhythm, way more people kept doing it for months. So the real secret here might just be that intervals make walking less mind-numbing, not that there's some hidden metabolic switch. The rules I set for myself before day 1, I set 4 rules so I couldn't quietly cheat my way through this. 1. Minimum 4 sessions a week. No skipping for weather. 2. Real 3-minute fast, 3-minute slow intervals on a timer, not vibes. 3. No major diet overhaul for the first half. I wanted to isolate what the walking alone could do. 4. Measure the boring stuff every 2 weeks. Weight, waist at the belly button, resting heart rate, and a photo in the same spot, same lighting. Starting numbers, for the record, starting weight, a waist measurement of starting waist, and a resting heart rate sitting at starting RHR. Not terrible, not great, exactly the kind of fine but could be better that got me into this in the first place. Weeks 1 to 2, the honeymoon phase. Week 1, I felt like a genius. 30 minutes done before most people are awake. Dopamine for days. The slow intervals felt like a little reward after each fast push, and I was smug about how easy this was supposed to be. Week 2 is when I learned fast walking, according to a Japanese physiology lab, is not the same as my version of fast walking. 3 minutes at a pace where talking gets annoying is genuinely uncomfortable. My heart rate climbed into a zone I usually only hit jogging. I had to actually slow down my slow intervals to recover properly, which told me I'd been underestimating this the whole time. No visible changes yet, obviously. 2 weeks of anything rarely shows up in a mirror. Weeks. 3 to 5. The grind sets in. This stretch is where most challenges quietly die, and I get why. The novelty wore off, the weather got worse, and I missed 2 sessions in week 4 because a podcast episode felt more important than my health. Fair. The episode was good, but on the days I did show up, something subtle started happening. My fast pace from week 1 started feeling like my new slow pace. I wasn't getting visibly leaner, but I could talk through the slow intervals without gasping, and stares at work stopped feeling like a personal attack. Check-in at week 4, weight basically flat, waist down maybe, a small realistic amount, resting heart rate down a few beats. Nothing Instagram-worthy, just quiet, boring progress. Week 6, the midpoint reality check. Halfway through, and I want to be honest about something most of these videos gloss over. I wanted my belly specifically to shrink, and the truth is, walking, or any single exercise, can't do that. It's called spot reduction, and it's basically a myth. Your body doesn't have a dial that says burn fat from the stomach first. What you can do is create an overall calorie deficit and build a bit of muscle, and your body decides where the fat comes off, which, frustratingly, is often the stomach last, not first. So at week 6, I made one change. I stopped pretending portion sizes didn't exist, not a full diet overhaul, just no seconds, and actually measuring my coffee creamer, which sounds pathetic, but apparently matters. The walking stayed exactly the same. I wanted to see what walking plus one small, honest nutrition tweak could realistically do, since that's what most people watching this are actually going to attempt anyway. Weeks 7 to 9, things start moving. This is where it got interesting. My pace had genuinely shifted. What counted as fast in week 1 was basically my recovery pace now. My resting heart rate kept ticking down, and the waist measurement, which had barely moved for 5 weeks, dropped a believable few centimeters, inches over 3 weeks once the small diet change kicked in alongside the walking. I also finally bought proper walking shoes around week 8 after my shins started complaining. Lesson learned, do that before week 8, not after. Once I fixed that, the sessions stopped feeling like damage control and started feeling like the easiest part of my day. Weeks 10 to 12, the final stretch. The last 3 weeks were almost boringly consistent, which after 12 weeks of every fitness trend I've tried felt like a small miracle. I hit every session. My fast intervals were noticeably faster than week 1 for the same effort, and honestly, the habit had stopped being a challenge and just became something I did before checking my phone in the morning, which is the only kind of habit that ever survives past a 12-week experiment. The final numbers. So here's the actual scoreboard after 12 weeks, no rounding up. Weight, down, believable amount. Waist, down, believable amount. Resting heart rate, down a few beats per minute from where I started. Stares that used to wreck me now barely register. And visually, yeah, there's a difference mostly around the midsection, but it's a tucked my shirt in differently difference, not a six-pack reveal. Was that because the walking specifically targeted belly fat? No, that's still not a real thing. It's because 30 minutes of intervals 4+ times a week, combined with not lying to myself about portion sizes for the back half, put me in a small, sustainable calorie deficit for 12 weeks. And my body happened to lose some of it around my stomach. What I'd actually tell you, if you came here hoping for a flat stomach miracle hack, I'm sorry, that's not what this is, and anyone telling you otherwise is selling something. What this actually is, a genuinely sustainable way to get real cardio benefits, better aerobic fitness, a lower resting heart rate. The research also points to better blood pressure and blood sugar control. Without your joints hating you and without needing a gym membership or the kind of willpower I clearly don't have on rainy Tuesdays. If you hate steady cardio, have joint issues, or have quit every 30-day challenge you've ever started because it was either too boring or too brutal, this is the one that might actually stick. Just don't expect it to outrun a bag of chips, because nothing does. If you want me to push this further, adding actual strength training on top of the walking for the next 12 weeks. Let me know in the comments. Kindly subscribe to our channel because I've already got the shoes for it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.